People see a 120-pound German Shepherd's teeth and they immediately run. They cross the street, they grab their kids and pull them away in fear. But a little 2-year-old boy named Mason saw something no one else did. He saw his best friend. His name was Ranger. 120 pounds of pure muscle, sleek black and tan fur, and a powerful face that made grown adults freeze. When Ranger yawned, people stepped back. When he barked, children cried. 3 different families had adopted him, only to return him to the shelter. The first brought him back after just 8 days, calling him too aggressive. The second lasted 19 days. His deep bark terrified their guests. The third family returned him early one Tuesday morning with one clear reason: we can't trust him around kids. Ranger spent the next 612 days living in a cold concrete kennel. He watched hundreds of other dogs get adopted while he stayed behind. Puppies came and went. Families walked past his cage every single day, but no one chose him. Slowly, Ranger gave up. He stopped wagging his tail. He stopped hoping. He just sat there in silence, waiting for nothing. What most people don't understand about German Shepherds is that their loyalty isn't just instinct, it's who they are. But when a dog like Ranger has no family to protect, that loyalty becomes a weapon with no purpose. Emily and Marcus weren't looking for a German Shepherd. Emily was 8 months pregnant with their baby boy, already named Mason. Marcus wanted a calm and gentle dog. But as they walked through the shelter, Emily stopped in front of Ranger's kennel. "Why does he look so sad?" she asked softly. The shelter worker sighed. "That's Ranger. He's been here for over 1.5 years. 3 families have already returned him." Marcus gently pulled her arm, reminding her they were about to bring a baby home. But Emily knelt down. For the first time in months, Ranger slowly lifted his head. He didn't bark. He didn't growl. He just looked at her with deep, tired eyes that seemed to whisper, "Please, give me one last chance." "We'll take him," Emily said. The first 2 weeks at home were tough. Ranger flinched at every loud noise. He paced the house at night like he was still locked in a cage. When Emily's friends came over for the baby shower, his loud bark sent half of them running out the door. "Maybe this was a mistake," Marcus whispered. But then, one quiet evening, everything changed. Emily was sitting on the couch, gently rubbing her belly. Mason kicked hard inside her. She placed her hand where the tiny foot pressed against her skin. Ranger, who had been lying quietly in the corner, suddenly stood up. He walked over slowly, sniffed her belly carefully, and then gently rested his massive head right beside it, closing his eyes. From that moment on, Ranger never left Emily's side. He became her constant shadow. When strangers saw his teeth and backed away in fear, Ranger didn't care. His only focus was protecting the new life growing inside her. 3 weeks later, Mason was born. Everyone warned them, "German Shepherds and babies don't mix. You're putting your son in danger." But Emily trusted Ranger with all her heart. When they brought Mason home, wrapped in a soft blue blanket, Ranger was waiting patiently in the hallway. He didn't jump. He didn't bark. He quietly walked over to the car seat, gently pressed his big nose against Mason's tiny forehead, and then sat down beside him. He stayed there for 4 straight hours, watching over the baby like he had waited his entire life for this exact moment. As days turned into weeks, a beautiful bond grew. Every morning at 6:30, Ranger would walk to Mason's crib and wait. The moment Mason's eyes opened, Ranger's tail, the same tail the shelter said never moved, would wag with pure joy. When Mason cried, Ranger would lie next to the crib and make a low, soothing rumble that calmed him faster than any lullaby. When Mason started crawling, Ranger walked right beside him, like a living guardrail, blocking stairs and gently nudging him away from anything dangerous. At the park, if strangers got too close, Ranger would calmly step between them. No growling, just his strong, protective presence. The dog that 3 families had called dangerous had become this little boy's gentle giant. Those same teeth that scared everyone else, Mason loved grabbing them during playtime,
laughing happily while Ranger opened his mouth wide in what looked terrifying to others, but was actually just a big, goofy smile for the toddler who saw only love. Then came the night that proved everything. Mason was 18 months old. It was 2:47 a.m. Emily and Marcus were sound asleep when loud, urgent barking suddenly woke them. This wasn't Ranger's usual bark. It was intense, deep, and relentless. Marcus rushed to Mason's room and found Ranger standing at the window, barking furiously toward the back door. Then he saw it, a dark shadow moving near the back door. Someone was trying to break in. Marcus quickly called 911. Emily grabbed Mason and held him tight. Ranger moved to the bedroom door, teeth bared, letting out a growl so powerful and deep that it rattled the walls. The intruder heard that terrifying growl and saw the silhouette of a 120-pound German Shepherd. He didn't hesitate. He turned and ran into the night. Police arrived just 8 minutes later. They found pry marks on the back door and fresh footprints in the mud. The officer looked at Ranger with respect and said, "That dog saved your family tonight." The same teeth that made neighbors cross the street had just protected their sleeping child. The same bark that once scared away guests had scared away danger. The dog the world called too dangerous had become the reason their son was safe. After the police left, Marcus sat on the floor and wrapped his arms around Ranger. Tears filled his eyes as he whispered, "You were never broken. You were just waiting for him." Ranger leaned into him, his whole body finally relaxing in peace. Today, Mason is 3 years old and Ranger is 6. They eat breakfast together every morning. They take naps side by side. They even wear matching superhero capes. And every single night, Ranger still walks into Mason's room, checks on him, and then lies down right outside his door like a silent guardian. That cold concrete kennel where Ranger spent 612 lonely days is now only a distant memory. Because sometimes the ones the world fears the most turn out to be the greatest protectors. Not all heroes wear capes. Some have 4 paws, sharp teeth, and a heart that never stopped believing in second chances.